Hey, it's Braden. One of the most important numbers we look at in Dental Intel is providers' production per hour. But in order to know providers' production per hour, we need to know how many hours they work. This is where clinical hours comes into play. First, make sure you have all your providers set up as portal users in Dental Intel. If you don't know how to create portal users, check out our video. Whoever will be entering and updating these clinical hours needs to make sure to have that privilege turned on in the portal user settings.
Then you click on this top right main menu button and simply go to clinical hours. You can see here, it pulls up a list of all of our providers. You can see right here, we have a dentist and a hygienist. I'm gonna show you how to go ahead and set the hygienist clinical hours. So one thing off the bat is we don't want to see this. This means that no hours have been entered for the day. It means we have two options. Either we can schedule the hours or mark the provider as off. So this practice is closed on Sundays. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Jennifer is off on Sunday for this week. Here I'm gonna say that this repeats every Sunday. What that does is when you look at next week or the week after or any weeks in the future, it still has her scheduled at 0 hours, showing that she's not gonna be working on Sundays. Now, Jennifer works 8 hours on Monday. So I'm gonna push schedule and say 8 hours. And right here, I'm gonna say this repeats every Monday. Again, when I look at next week and all weeks in the future, it has Jennifer scheduled at 8 hours. Again, same thing for Tuesday. She works 8 hours every Tuesday. And again, same on Wednesday. Now on Thursday, Jennifer works every other Thursday. She happens to be working this Thursday, so we'll go ahead and schedule her for 8 hours. Right here though, instead of saying this applies every Thursday, we're going to say this applies every other Thursday and go ahead and save that. Now, when we look at next week, you can see that there's no hours entered here. Again, she's off this Thursday, so we're going to mark her as off. And again, we're going to say that this is every other Thursday. So when we look at the week following, she's back at 8, and the week after that, she's back to 0. Again, this just helps because Dental Intel will save the typical hours of each provider, so you don't have to constantly go and change it. On Fridays, this practice is off, so I'm going to say that they're off every Friday and save that. And same thing with Saturdays. So there you have it. It's so simple to add these clinical hours. Now again, this is kind of the provider's typical weekly schedule, but what happens when their hours differ? For example, let's say that next Wednesday, Jennifer decides to take a vacation and take Wednesday off. Well, we have her scheduled at 8 hours, but she's going to be working 0. All you have to do is simply click on this pencil edit icon and say that she's working 0 hours. But instead of saying every Wednesday, you're just going to say this occurrence only. And what that does is it marks this Wednesday at 0 hours, but it keeps her typical 8-hour day on Wednesday for all the weeks in the future. So there you have it. Now, as I'm setting these hours, I would go ahead and finish and add all the hours for the rest of my providers.
It's so important to update these hours daily so that we can make sure that our production per hour metrics are accurate. Again, if you need any help, please contact us.